take it away.
Thank you, Rachel. I gotta agree with Reinforce. I think Finland probably takes this. I think it'd be a bit of a surprise. You know, both these teams, such rivals, but when we spoke with Finland earlier in the week, this match definitely meant a little bit more to them.
Absolutely, and I could see it going both ways. I will say, just talking to some Sweden members earlier, where really they don't want to lose to Taimou. Remember, there are 2 members of Envious on there, and they have to go back and live with Taimou if they end up falling to Finland. And I don't think the members of Envious on Sweden, they definitely don't want that.
No, and I think the one place that you could see Sweden take control is with Cocco. I think taking advantage of LiNkzr, a newer player to Reinhardt, could definitely prove to be a great 4-team Sweden. You can see the maps in this series. It'll be Hanamuра, Route 66, and Nepal to round things out. I think Tviq versus, you're going to be looking at him going up against Taimou. I think that's a fantastic matchup as well. Going to be seeing if Tviq can keep that strong play going.
Absolutely, and I would expect both of them to get into it pretty often, where Taimou very likely to be playing his trademark McCree quite a bit here in the series, and he will be looking to shut down Tviq, especially if we see Tviq come out on something like a Genji.
And I just find it like a crazy scenario where, you know, coming into the Overwatch World Cup, we expected both of these teams, I know obviously maybe a gold or a silver, and one of them's going to go home without a medal. That is such a shocker.
It is a little bit of a shocker, especially given what we thought these teams would do coming in. But hey, Russia came out really, really strong, and South Korea, of course, just a dominant force. But I gotta tell you, X, I've seen those medals. Those medals look amazing.
Oh yeah, they're pretty sick. You definitely don't want to go home without one. It'll be Sweden on defense. Tviq will be going with May, and you'll see iddqd going to go with McCree. So obviously I think May is a crucial pick here on Hanamuра, especially on the defensive end.
Absolutely. The thing about May is that she can control that opening archway, and Tviq, one of the better players in the game at using May to her potential. But we take a look at the Finland offense here. This is not too surprising if Taimou decides to stick with it. Unfortunately, he's not. He was flirting with the idea of going to Widowmaker, but he's going to go for the tried and true. Finland just going to try and break this open with Nano Boost, Death Blossom shenanigans.
It'll be Finland on offense here in our 3rd place decider. It'll be Taimou on Reaper, Hymzi on May. So you do see a little bit of a switch up. We've seen Hymzi play Roadhog quite often, but Taimou's really going to need to be big for Finland here, the opening break. And you see they're actually going to get past the May wall. So the May wall comes in a little late from Tviq on Sweden, and you're going to see Finland take the high ground.
And that's a big, big win here for Finland, where they do get past that May wall. They weren't exactly running a composition that was good at getting past the May wall, so Tviq had an opportunity there. It's gone, and now Finland taking the high ground, really setting up a good positioning. They're going to have a wall of their own as they just rush down the opposing Reinhardt.
Yeah, Hymzi with a beautiful wall there. They're going to catch Cocco out of position. It's going to be Taimou able to pick him up. Tseini's going to pick up Zebbosai. So you see both tanks go down there for Sweden. This is looking great for Finland.
Absolutely, and then again, it just comes down to control. Sweden did not have the control they were looking for. Finland played it methodically. They caught out Cocco, and everything went well for them from there, where this is going to be a very clean take of point A.
Yeah, it started with that late May wall from the side of Sweden, and Finland's able to just break in with ease, and now you look, they have the nano boost going in this next fight. It looks like they're going to get the sound barrier as well, and Sweden, they just have the Deadeye on iddqd, so this could be really bad for Sweden here in our first map.
Absolutely, the momentum that Finland has right now is incredible. They do almost have that sound barrier up. They're about to have Graviton, they have nano boost, but Sweden, they do have a trump card. They have Blizzard from Tviq, and Tviq very good at using it to his advantage in situations like this where this team is otherwise outgunned.
And you see Taimou on the point, just trying to work down these tanks, and Cocco's going to dive in. The Blizzard comes in from the side of Sweden, but everybody falls for Finland. But it's a little bit of an interesting strategy there from Finland. A lot of times we see teams go up, try and take the high ground. Right there, they rush straight to the point, and they bait that Blizzard out.
They do bait the Blizzard out, and they saved all their ultimates. That was actually, I don't think Finland was actually trying to win that fight. I think they just wanted to get rid of the Blizzard. They're going to have to deal with Graviton and other things here, but this still might work out for them. They have a very strong push coming. Their war chest is pretty much full, so we'll see how this works out, where iddqd is on the high ground, but looks like Finland's going to come straight up the gut.
Yeah, and they have all the tools to do so. I mean, Zappis has the nano boost, they have the Earth Shatter, and they have the Graviton Surge. So you see it's going to be Finland just rushing straight to the point. iddqd with a fantastic shot there, taking out Zappis, and they actually land the nano boost on the LiNkzr, but he falls, and now you're actually going to see Cocco push forward with that Earth Shatter, and it's going to be another hole there from Sweden.
That might have been a very quick two-tap from iddqd, and the thing is that I think he got that pick off before the sound barrier landed. Tseini waited a little bit longer, trying to get maximum value out of it, But while he was doing that, iddqd already had zappis locked in, so it sort of ended Finland's push right then and there. And now Finland, they do have 5 ultimates up, they will be missing the sound bearer, so they still have options here. And oh my goodness, X, I think they're just going to keep going straight up the middle. Who needs to go on the side anyway?
I was just going to ask you, well, why do they just keep going straight up the gut? Is there not a reason they're taking this high ground?
I don't really know. Maybe they just feel like Sweden is already camped up there and they feel they can do better just getting on the point and applying pressure, making Sweden come to them. But Blizzard is up now for Tviq. Tviq is going to be able to control a lot of this fight. And Finland, even though they have so many resources here, X, they really haven't used them in quite a while. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity, but that can be dangerous.
Well, now I feel like they're realizing they're kind of trapped on that left-hand side of the map, and you see Tviq going to wall off the opponents. Going to be now taking the high ground is Finland. Tviq just trying to get in a proper position to use this Blizzard. It seems like Finland has no idea what they're trying to do. First they go low, then they go left, now they're going up top right. And now you're going to see the Blizzard come through, and it's going to be the Graviton Surge as well. Sweden picking up lots of kills, but that's a big Earth Shatter coming in from LiNkzr. He's not going to get anything for it though. He only gets 2, but he's going to fall right after. Not a good push there from Finland.
Finland threw good money after bad there. They were already in a terrible position, and they still threw ultimates through that Blizzard. Not something they should have done there. And I gotta say, the way Finland's been playing it reminds me of watching a hockey game where a team's on a power play and they just keep passing instead of taking shots on goal, where Finland would have been better served at some point just going in, opening with sound bearer when they had it, and throwing everything on the table, because now they've let Sweden reestablish. Sweden has a whole lot of power on their side, and now there's no guarantee Finland even caps the second point.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what's going on in Finland's comms, but the way you see them kind of roaming around, it's like one person calls one thing, then it doesn't work, somebody else calls another, and you see Cocco in this next fight, he's going to get that nano boost, and now you're going to see the sound barrier come in, and this is one that Sweden is taking advantage of early. Zebbosai with 2, Chips with 1. Things falling apart for Finland is again as they try and push the high ground.
I think the problem here for Finland is that they really don't have a clear idea how they want to run these engagements. Sweden is catching them off guard every time. They're getting the first pick off every time. And generally speaking, they're just picking better moments to go in. So for Finland, they seem a little bit lost. Now, maybe they can power through this in a little bit with a nano boost, Death Blossom. Mafu can set them up with the Graviton. But Sweden has done a great job of burning all sorts of time off this clock.
Finland had 6 minutes to get the second point. Now we are down under 3. You're going to see Hymzi now switch over to Genji. Do you like that decision?
I think they need to switch something up. I'm not sure Hymzi is playing a world-breaking Genji, but hey, at this point, Genji's not too bad for bringing this last point. They are going to roll into point. They get split off by the May wall as they go in. Sweden again keeping good control of this fight. Zebo about to have a Graviton. I think he's going to use that Graviton, pulling in 3.
Yeah, it's Gravitons coming in from both sides. Hymzi gets 1, Cocco and Tviq go huge though. They take out the remaining members of Sweden. Nice shot there at the end. And Finland gets wiped. Things just not going well for the Finnish squad here. They had a fantastic take of the first point. Now here, the second one, they have been shut down. You're going to see Mafu actually switches over from Zarya over to Winston. So another change out of the side of Finland.
Absolutely. I think what Finland might be looking for here, there's a lot of different targets they can put Nano Boost on, but Nano Boost Dragon Blade is pretty good for at least getting people off the top. There is a risk of getting hit by a Sleep Dart, which chipshajen very, very good at using. But for Finland right now, they're just holding back here. They're getting Speed Boost on and try to catch things off guard. They do get past that wall.
Yeah, that is huge. Once you see them get past the wall, you think they have a better chance. Taimou actually gets put to sleep there during a Death Blossom. Huge play there by Chips. iddqd takes out 2. Oh, he just went absolutely massive on the point there for Sweden.
What an incredible sleep dart coming out from Chips there. I was just mentioning, it's like, he's known for laying good sleep darts. He did not prove me wrong. Stops Taimou in the moment. And when your Reaper, who has Nano Boost and Death Blossom, gets shut down that quickly, your push is very likely not to work. So great stuff coming out here from Sweden and Finland, going to be down to their last push here in just a moment.
Yeah, Chips and iddqd just went massive for Team Sweden there at the end. Zebbosai does have the Graviton Surge, and you're getting close to a Sound Barrier and Earth Shatter for Sweden. You do have Hymzi though with that Dragon Blade. We'll see if he pops it out here as they try and get up top.
Hymzi right now will be the dark horse here for Finland. Gonna have to find some way of cracking this. He will look to remove Sweden from his top end. He's getting good elevation. He's gonna be looking to shift right in. And we do have the Graviton coming out here from defense. Hymzi though doesn't care, gets the backline, takes down Chips. Looking for more. The B has been dropped by the defense, and they are swarming over Finland right now.
Hymzi had nowhere to go. That Blizzard comes in, and he can't just chase down the players on Sweden. Cocco picks up 2. He only gets 1 with the Dragon Blade, and now we only have 30 seconds left here, ZP. Finland, they do have an Earth Shatter, and now nano boost and a primal rage to work with. I think they'll be able to get back and at least contest.
They'll be able to contest, but this is their last good push was the last one where they had good positioning. Here, they're just going to have to throw their bodies onto the point and hope for the best. But here's where the look at right now. Cocco with the Earth Shatter can be the decider. He can put the dagger in Finland's heart right now if they're not careful about positioning, because they do have to rush on that point.
Now you see Finland trying to take that high ground. You see Mafu jump up top. He's going to get the nano boost for the side of Finland. They need to get on the point though. It's going to be Zebbosai, not... Oh, how many teams have we seen? I was like, they need to get on the point. He's too busy trying to work down Zebbosai and he never makes it back.
In their defense, iddqd had the Deadeye. It was truly high noon. It took out 3 as they were rushing into the point. But it has happened a lot where teams just, they wait a little bit too long. They don't even force overtime. But either way, it was a grim situation for Finland. And after what was a very good start, they're not able to seal the deal on second.
And I believe at the end when he's trying to work down Zebbosai, he has the Primal Rage as well. He doesn't use it there. Just a little bit of a misplay from Team Finland. You can vote for your match MVP. Tweet the battle tag, Team Mobile MVP. Right now, some people you're looking out for, I believe it is Zebbosai. Yes, 27-1 on Zarya. So you look at the tanks between these two teams. Mafu on Finland, 8-6, LiNkzr 6-7. A lot goes more into tanks than just eliminations and deaths. But look at the guys on Sweden. Cocco is 15-3, Zebbosai 27-1. The guys on Sweden doing a fantastic job.
Sweden absolutely having a good recovery there. And I think what it came down to is that you talk about experience in tank play. For Sweden, they were just getting better initiations time and time again there, where Finland, they were a little bit lost. And that's a little bit to be expected in some respects for LiNkzr, not a tank player by trade. Can flex to a lot of things, is an excellent player in his own right, but tanking a little bit new for him. Not so new to players like Cocco and Zebbosai.
And on the side of Finland, on defense, you'll see them go with Hymzi on Mei and Taimou on Reaper. It's a very good setup to hold that front gate. I'm really looking at LiNkzr though. You know, we talked about a little bit of his inexperience on Reinhardt. If he's going to be able to play that passive at the gate and deal with the pressure.
We'll have to see. It's one of those cases too where players that haven't played as much Reinhardt oftentimes make mistakes where they charge a little bit early. They can't read the situation, because Reinhardt's all about reading the flow of battle, where you have to know, okay, this is my time to go in, and if you misread it, it actually just turns out terribly. So something that LiNkzr have to look at moving forward. But speaking of Sweden, the Sweden offense is on the prowl.
Yeah, and they're going to go pretty fast and aggressive. See, iddqd is going to be running Tracer. Tviq will be running Genji. You'll have Cocco going to go with Winston. So that composition tells me they're going to go in fast and furious. You see Cocco just dive right in. iddqd as well. He gets right to the back line.
iddqd going to the back, looking for that early pickup. And Sweden has gotten pretty deep here. It's a case where even though they lose Zebo early on, iddqd uncontested, picks up the double and is looking for more.
Yeah, he gets Zarya very low. He's going to be able to take out Mafu. That's 3 kills for iddqd. Taimou gets 1 at the beginning of the fight. Everybody else for Finland falls. That is as easy as a break as you can get on that first point.
Absolutely, and Sweden might be feeling a little bit pumped up by that crowd, as they love watching iddqd go into the back, open things up, and now Sweden is going to have a whole lot of time, a little over 7 minutes, to bring this in and capture the second point.
This is going to be next to near impossible for Finland to hold on. iddqd having a fantastic game as well, 23-3. Now he's getting very close to that pulse bomb. They have nothing to combo with it. Chips getting close to the nano boost as well. But I think if you're Sweden, you're going to be able to just at least dart right onto the point and then potentially take the fight. Oh, actually, it's going to be Taimou taking out Tviq there. So you're going to see Sweden just fall back and reset.
I might be wrong on this, but I think it was also Zappis doing quite a bit of damage to him there too, where Tviq got poked down a little bit and then ran into Taimou for the finishing shot. So Zappis coming in some big Ana plays. And you take a look here at Sweden, they will the Dragon Blade up in the next fight and the Nano Boost. So seeing the Nano Blade very likely be a thing here. iddqd is just going to go to the back line, try and pick up anything he can. But if this starts out well for Sweden, it very well could snowball into a point B cap.
Yeah, and Cocco gets his primal range on Winston. Oh, and Sweden gets walled off the front. It's going to be iddqd trying to go down low, make a play back towards the point. It's going to be Tviq. He's going to get Nano Boosted a little bit late there, so he doesn't get the Nano Boost with the Dragon Blade. And that may end up coming to hurt Team Sweden. It definitely does.
Hammer beating sword towards the very end there. LiNkzr going in with some of the cleanup. And I can't say enough about Hymzi there, where that ice wall stopped Chips from going in and powering up Tviq. And if Tviq is powered up, it might have been a very different fight.
Yeah, and you saw the Nano Boost come in a little bit late there, you know, when you saw Tviq get into the Dragon Blade. And I believe just have a little bit of a pause scenario, so we'll figure out what's going on with our teams, and then we'll get right back into the action. But from what we saw there, ZP, when the Nano Boost comes in a little bit late, they used the Dragon Blade earlier. Why even use that nano boost if you're Finland?
I think they were just trying to recover there towards the very end where Tviq said, okay, maybe I can still do something. It's never really quite that well coordinated, but the idea is that, all right, we can still make this happen. Unfortunately, when you don't have the nano boost early on, he's taken way more damage. He's lost opportunities to kill 2 or 3 people that he might have gotten. And it just shows how an ice wall can be so disruptive.
Yeah, it's quite odd, because after, I mean, they use the Dragon Blade, he gets up top, and this is after they get ice walled, and then like once they break through the wall, that's when you see the nano boost comes in. I think if Finland probably would have held on to that nano boost, used it for that next fight, things could have been much different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we'll see how things go. Nano boost does build pretty quickly, but again, it's just good defensive play by Hymzi to break that up and go from there. Now, you take a look at this game where Sweden still has a lot of time to go forward. They're going to get multiple opportunities to build up their ults and really go for that one key push, because the upside to them, now that they had their full hold on second, they don't have to worry about having to deal with the time bank or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, Sweden does have like 7 minutes or whatnot left, but I mean, Finland had 6, and they never made it through. What did you think went wrong with Finland's attack?
Well, we touched on a little bit in cast, but I really think it came down to tank play, where their initiations were not what they needed. Sweden got the jump on them way more often than not, and it's really hard to win fights in Overwatch, especially on second point, if people are dying early on in the fight.
Yeah, they could never sustain when they tried to push in for that B point. And something we haven't seen here at all is Hymzi's Roadhog. He's been a fantastic Roadhog throughout the Overwatch World Cup. Do you think that could have helped them there?
I think it could have helped them, just because Hymzi is sort of a situation where you take a look at a player like Shadowburn, right, where his Genji is phenomenal, even in cases where Genji isn't. I think it's the same case with Hymzi, where Hymzi's Roadhog can be a really great Roadhog, even in cases where you wouldn't normally run the Roadhog.
Yeah, I think his Roadhog has been so strong, but I think also what we kind of talk about it when you want him to run Roadhog, it's really been kind of Finland's downfall, so to speak, is because they haven't been too versatile. I mean, if you've been watching throughout the entire time, Finland is really stuck to that triple tank, 2 supports, and 1 DPS. And it seems like at least coming into the Sweden match, they changed things up, but definitely a little bit too late.
I tend to agree with that, and the thing about the triple tank setups is that they are really good. They can catch teams off guard, but you always want to be able to switch to something else as well, especially if teams are running Reapers, are playing more conservative, not letting you get hooks off. It's switching to something that can have a different game flow can be very favorable, so you don't always want to have the Roadhog.
Yeah, the Roadhog, I feel like, is really situational, like we were talking about. I would like to see it come in later in this series. But guys, we have a little bit technical issue with the game, and we're going to get it started right after this quick commercial break.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
What's in the name? Well, that depends on what you do with it. Put it out there. Get good with it. Like, really good. Get it on a team. Get it on a big monthly check. Make your whole city know it. Check that. The whole world. Get it on the back of a champion.
That's your name.
Better yet, become a champion. What's in the name? Well, that's up to you.
Everything that I do in my life is working towards getting on to the big stage of video gaming.
I don't want to get second place this year. Like, I'm going for first. I won't be happy unless we win.
My name is Andrew Rodriguez, and I go to University of Texas at Arlington.
Daniel Lee, and I go to University of Connecticut.
My name is David Young, and I go to school at University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
My name is Michael Udall, and I go to ASU.
Heroes of the Dorm is an amateur tournament focused on college teams, playing not for prize money, but for tuition.
This is my first year competing in Heroes of the Dorm. Gaming at first was just a hobby, but now it's kind of evolved into part of my life.
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona. Gaming was definitely frowned upon.
I would think, gee, what a waste of time. You guys ought to be studying algebra or anything worthwhile.
My parents used to hate when I played, but now they're like, this is so cool, you're going to Seattle for playing a video game.
Welcome to the Heroes of the Dorm Heroic Four. Here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, 4 college teams have come to battle it out.
We started over a month ago, and now we have Tennessee, UT Arlington, UConn, and Arizona State.
We all felt really good after the win, but we came here to win the whole thing, so the work's not over yet.
You don't reach that level without the dedication and the focus and the endless hours honing your craft.
It's going to take a determination and discipline, just like succeeding in anything in life.
It's intense. That's the best way to put it. Until you play the game and try to excel at it, you have no idea.
An outlet like that where students come together and share the same interest. That's what it's all about.
This was the future of esports that we imagined.
Taking a lot of damage, he blows up in a matter of seconds.
Shot low on HP, but the board with another
They are going for the core. They're going to be able to save it in time, and it goes down. GG.
What's in the name? Well, that depends on what you do with it. Put it out there. Get good with it. Like, really good. Get it on a team. Get it on a big monthly check. Make your whole city know it. Check that. The whole world. Get it on the back of a champion.
That's your name.
Better yet, become a champion. What's in the name? Well, that's up to you.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
Welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup. Just to keep you guys updated, we had a small computer issue, but the integrity of the game has been preserved because we have that pause feature. So as soon as they get that sorted, we will resume from pause. But in the meantime, guys, we do have a lot to talk about because we had one full turn there on Hanamuра, where we saw Finland assault unsuccessfully against Sweden.
Yeah, both teams had a really poor A defense. They were both completely ran through. We just saw, obviously, for Sweden, their iddqd pretty much manhandling Finland, single-handedly just powering through them. But Finland, again, as we've seen many teams so far, struggling to close out Hanamura, and a lot of it was down to the fact that the ice walls were just absolutely on point.
I mean, it's pretty standard. We've actually run a little bit of examples of this on Hanamura as well. We can have a look at the clip in just a second, maybe, if we have a chance. We'll see. But point is that you always, the wall is to stagger the enemy team, right? So a good main wall is always going to isolate one or two, maybe even three people on one side of it, right? And then obviously you have yourself an isolated 6v3 situation, so it's a bit of an easy fight there as well. I mean, we can have a look at it now. I mean, we can bring this one up and we'll have a bit of fun with it, maybe illustrate to you guys exactly how it works on Hanamura. So this is Sweden's push on the first fight. I just want to point a few things out here. First of all, they're on the attack. Over here, iddqd's already gotten into the point, right? Obviously, Taimou's still a bit of a threat to him, still an issue, and Tseini's up on top. He's been skating a little bit, if you notice that as well. But he eventually does drop down, and that's where iddqd picks him up. But notice that, look how far iddqd already gets inside before he's been dealt with. You can usually come across the top here and straight on through. Especially if you're a tracer, obviously your blink patterns make it a little bit hard to follow you. We did see yesterday that the Chinese teams tried to work through in here and then up the top. That can be a little bit tricky to make work, but already we're in disarray here. Old mate LiNkzr not having a great time here. When you take the Reinhardt out of the picture, the defending team has very, very little to sort of gather up behind, and you're always going to be guaranteed a very chaotic situation here. Mafu also is very important to be looking at, but again, he'll get taken down. We can roll the clip and you can just see how it rolls through with iddqd picking up Tseini. Tseini drops down. iddqd has a lot of freedom here. You can even see Tviq as well. He's off on his own. So these two flankers now can do a heck of a lot with it. LiNkzr finally wakes up, but iddqd, he's already massacred the rest of his team. Doesn't connect the charge, and by then it's already too late.
Just see Cocco at the top there, just like, well, I've cleared the top. I got really nothing else to hit because iddqd's just kind of killed them all already. What's going on, man?
Well, you know what, guys?
From Miro.
Hey, thanks for getting us all updated. It looks like our match is ready, so we're going to give it back down to the casters and get right back into the action.
Thank you, Rachel. Going right back into the game. You see the beauty of the pause feature. We're able to just jump right back in that same situation we were in. So we can actually just take a look at who has the ultimates right now. It'll be Hymzi with the Blizzard. Now you see LiNkzr will have an Earth Shatter, so we get right back into the action. It's going to be Sweden on the attack. Finland, a very good first push on offense. Their second push, not as well. I mean, they do not get the second point. They had 6 minutes of time. You see Sweden still with a ton of time here. 5 minutes plus. See, they're going to try and make a push through the bottom. You have Hymzi up top with that Blizzard. This could be disastrous.
He doesn't quite get the ball he's looking for, but iddqd gets it back, taking down Taimou early on. But the Blizzard could very well be coming out here in a moment from Hymzi. He's still holding on to it, waiting for the right moment. And Finland, they've taken out 3 people. They might not even have to break the cold because of just taking everyone out outright. Hymzi getting to conserve that key ultimate.
And that's so smart from the side of Finland to realize you have the advantage in that fight. You use your Graviton Surge there towards the end from Mafu, and then you're able to just win some of those engagements. See Taimou potentially going to switch things up here. Let's see if he brings out McCree. So Taimou's going to go over to McCree. You've seen him make some fantastic plays on this hero throughout the tournament. Now, ooh, we're going to see Sweden go up top here. They do have a sound barrier, taking a little bit of a different approach.
They are taking a little bit of a different approach, using the Mei wall to get the entire team up there. It's the Mei wall elevator, and now they're going through the left. They have a sound barrier up, so Sweden, they're going to just blitz in from this left side. But Finland, very content to stay over the top. Taimou will just be raining down shots from above. But here we go, sound barrier underway.
Yeah, but the Blizzard comes in. You're actually going to see LiNkzr take out 2 there. Taimou with 1. LiNkzr goes big, takes out another one. You see how strong that nano boost can be. Earns himself an Earth Shatter here towards the end. No reason to use it. It's going to be Finland holding on.
Finland with a great defense once more. And again, you see from the teams here where even though Sweden definitely has more experience on the tank side of things, it can still be very difficult getting in on the second point on Hanamuра, because the key thing is that it's not just about winning the fight. You have to win the fight almost flawlessly. If you lose 1 or 2 people early on, the odds of actually taking it can be pretty rough. And now they have an initial threat where they have to deal with Taimou, though, almost getting poked down from Chips from long range. Chips and Taimou, of course, very well acquainted with each other as players.
And you're going to see Sweden go with the same means of attack. They're going to use that Mei wall to boost them up top, and now attack from this left-hand side. They will have a Blizzard, Earth Shatter, Nano Boost, and a Graviton Surge. So you think this is Sweden's best chance to get the point?
It very well could be. They will be coming in with the Blizzard. Tviq is going to be able to zone out Finland, but the problem is Finland right now, they're so comfortable staying over the top. They're going to have a Deadeye soon. They have to do something to dive in and take down time. Maybe just iddqd wing McCree versus McCree, but for now, Finland's positioning is giving Sweden a whole boatload of problems where they can't comfortably get on the point.
Yeah, and as soon as iddqd is cut off, they do not want to push on the point. Now the Mei wall is gone, but you see Taimou using that Deadeye up top. He's going to be able to take out 1. And now everything going in Finland's favor and not looking good for Sweden. It's going to be iddqd jumping off the side, going to get a little bit of a reset here for Sweden so they can all spawn up together and get a good push.
I feel like for Sweden here, what they really need to do is drain out as many ultimates as possible from this Finland side and then come in with a fully charged ult bank of their own. They have a little under 3 minutes left. They have multiple pushes they can do here. They can abuse the fact that all they have to do is cap this point. But remember, if they don't cap this point, the map will end in a draw, so there is still a little bit of pressure here on the Sweden team.
Sweden stacking these ultimates. They've just not used many of the last few fights. They've just ran in, let Finland kind of take them, and now you see the ultimate starting to come in. The nano boost up top onto Cocco. He gets Maywalled. Zebbosai gets on the point, and you see iddqd with a big Deadeye there. He's able to get 2, and this is Sweden's best shot. They need to isolate Taimou here in the back. They need to deal with him, but you see the Blizzard coming down and the Graviton Surge coming in as well. Mafu stuck inside of it, but it's going to be Hymzi taking out 1, and this is what Finland may be able to hold on.
Hymzi has been the raid boss that Sweden has not been able to defeat here on the second point. Great Mei play to really stall things out. Tviq does pick up 2, and you still have Sweden moving in, but this is a trap here, X, where Hymzi still just goes iddqd. But it's a trap because the respawns from Finland are coming back in, and it's going to be rough. I mean, Sweden are doing a good job of getting extra kills. Maybe they can swing it, but it's still going to be pretty rough as they do bleed 4 players.
And Tviq drops his Blizzard down. He gets 1 player very low, chips in the point. They secure it. It's going to be Sweden taking map number 1.
And what that was there, even though they were down players, it was Tviq just landing shot after shot, a tale of 2 Meis. But Tviq's Mei just a little bit stronger there, getting the plays that were needed. And again, you don't see that too often where once you lose some players, it's really difficult to stay on and keep the progress that you need.
Yeah, you know, when Tviq got that Blizzard late in that fight and he drops it down, that's where Sweden was able to take advantage. You know, some of their players came off the spawn, they were able to get back onto the point. You saw Zebbosai there towards the end switch over to Tracer just to make it back, to make an impact. And Tviq goes 38-6 there on Hanamura. Sweden looking very good.
iddqd having a jolly time there, just laughing. That was a full-on belly laugh. He was shaking with laughter. So good showing there from Sweden, and we'll see if they can bring it forward here to map number 2, where they win that, they'll be taking home the bronze.
Finland would be going home pretty upset not getting a medal here at the Overwatch World Cup. What do you think Finland can switch up going into Route 66?
Well, they can switch up going to Route 66. It's hard to say because a lot of Finland's troubles really just came from a lack of coordinated engagements, which really goes down to their tank play, where they don't have quite the level of tank experience. I think maybe if they can run more flankers, try and run something that puts the game into more of a disorganized state where Sweden can't clutch on their good tank play, might be a little bit better. But it's not going to be difficult because when you do run those flankers, iddqd pretty good at cleaning them up.
Yeah, and I think a matchup on Route 66 that you'll be looking at will probably be Tviq, when he runs that Genji. Taimou's going to have to run McCree to shut him down, but we'll be able to jump right back into the action. It'll be Sweden versus Finland. Map number 2, Sweden up 1-0, obviously taking Hanamuра. It'll be Finland on defense here to kick things off. It'll be iddqd, actually that is Sweden, so we have the overlays just switch, but it'll be iddqd playing on that McCree on defense, and Tviq will be running Mei. So you'll see both those guys run their standard heroes here on defense. On offense, I wonder if Hymzi actually sticks with that Roadhog.
Hymzi sticking on Roadhog, I think that's a fair guess. Now, he hasn't been running Roadhog every game, but Roadhog pretty good here, just pulling people off big earls, getting the first pick off, and going from there. And there's a lot of also cool areas where Roadhog can go. There are tunnels on the left. Roadhog can be surprisingly stealthy for a large, loud hero, let me tell you.
But here's where it gets interesting for Finland. If they stick with this comp, I mean, how are they going to engage on top of big earls? You're going to be relying on Hymzi to get that pick early. If he doesn't, I feel like Finland's going to have a tough time pushing in.
They are relying on Hymzi here, where Hymzi, he's going to be pushing. He might actually be somewhat flanking. The rest of the team is going to be on the payload. And the goal here is that when Sweden engages, Hymzi will be in a position to get a hook on a key player. And let me tell you, as far as Sweden goes, probably no more key player here than hooking iddqd, because McCree, so much damage comes out from him, but he's a bit of a glass cannon, because if he gets hit by that Roadhog hook, he will be going down.
It'll be Finland's tournament life on the line here. They will be attacking first on Route 66. We'll see Hymzi go up top, and I think as soon as Sweden sees this Roadhog, obviously going to play a lot more passive. You're going to see him just hide around the corner, though. Taimou's going to get some vision, figure out what composition that Sweden's running, and see where Hymzi can be most effective.
Hymzi right now, he's going to be a little bit patient, but anytime hook is up, he's going to take a few steps up, look for the hook, and the thing about Hymzi is that he goes for, oh my goodness, what a hook! And isn't he able to get the ball through, do the ice wall on the side, but Hymzi goes for those crazy low percentage hooks and hits them more often than not.
Yeah, and that first hook initiates the fight. LiNkzr is able to take out Cocco, and iddqd picks up one, but now Taimou and Coach starting to push this payload up. It's a beautiful Mei wall there from Tviq, and you see some ultimates coming up for Team Sweden, so they'll have... Fantastic hook there from Hymzi. Zappis and Zebbosai fly in there, and it's going to be Finland continuing to move the payload. I was saying Sweden's stacking up some ultimates, but Finland doing a fantastic job continuing to move the payload and stacking ultimates of their own.
Absolutely. Hymzi's been opening us up, and did you see the rotation on that? Sorry, she just spun away. Oh my goodness. But here comes iddqd on the defense, rushing down the island, trying to take on Zappis. The ice wall, though, counterproductive, stops iddqd from finishing the kill. His own teammate, Deadeye coming in from Taimou. It's 2 kills extra here from Finland.
Oh, and iddqd is put to sleep there by Zappis. Fantastic sleep dart there. Finland wins the fight with ease. They'll advance past the first point.
I gotta say, I just feel like there was a little bit of miscommunication on Sweden's part there, where that was Tviq's ice wall, and I think it stopped iddqd from getting that kill, so maybe the fight goes in their way. I still think Finland had more shots in their chamber there as far as ultimates, all the rest go, but still a little bit rough. But take a look at Sweden. They're going to be going to the next fight. They will have a Graviton. They will have a Deadeye. So look for Zebbosai to just set up his team here. Look for that big Graviton, go from there, because it's hard to split up fully on this section of Route 66.
And did Tseini just use his sound barrier for the side of Finland? I believe he had it, now down to 0. Just uses it before the fight even ensues, and Tviq's going to get one. iddqd with another. I believe he actually did use the sound barrier there. Just a really odd play there from Tseini.
Indeed, and you take a look here at Sweden. Sweden, when they clean up the Finland squad, they are going to reestablish their defense right here. Cocco will have Earth Shatter, they will have a Sound Bearer, so Sweden in a better shape here. The thing about Route 66 is that you don't have much time to finish out this map. already it's going to be a little under 3 minutes here in just a moment. So for Finland, they have 5-6 pushes here from this point, but time can quickly get away from you when trying to get through on Route 66.
Yeah, Mafu's going to have to land a big Graviton Surge here to throw the fight in Finland's favor. You see a nice Zarya bubble there, just keeping LiNkzr alive. And you're just trying to see Mafu just pick out the perfect time to use this Graviton Surge. And when Taimou takes out Zave, you may not even need it now because taking out the enemy Lucio, not going to have that sustain. He's going to use the Graviton Surge anyway, get Zebbosai stuck inside of it. They're able to take out Cocco, Chips falls as well. Finland starting to win this fight.
Finland plunging forward, Mafu with the signatures are heads up with 3 kills here in this fight. Hymzi with a little bit of cleanup. And here's the problem here for Sweden coming out is that this is one of the more unique features of a map in the game where the defense actually has a really hard time getting back out. There's a lot of choke points that the offense can punish them on. Sweden, I think they might have enough time to get back out, but it's going to be close as Hymzi will be creeping here towards the top, looking for that hook. Just if he could grab someone early on here as they're setting up X, it would be huge.
But the side of Sweden, they do have the Graviton Surge, Nano Boost, and Death Blossom. This could be a huge combination here to hold this. And you see the Nano Boost come out onto Tviq as he's up top. And he's just hunting down players. No Death Blossom just yet. Not a good position to use it. Now finally pops in. He's able to get one towards the end. Had another player there. Zebbosai was able to take out Zappis before Tviq could. A good hold there from Sweden. And they hold on to the Graviton Surge.
That was great for Sweden. And it was on a razor's edge too, where if they had gotten wiped maybe like 5 seconds later, Finland would have been able to stop them from even getting out. So I will say though, I think Finland, if they had abandoned the payload for a little bit, they still could have stopped Sweden a little bit harder. I think they were a little bit too focused on the objective in that particular case. And now for Sweden, they do get their positioning right back up.
Yeah, now Finland has a lot of ultimates here to use. They do have Hymzi's whole hog. They have an Earth Shatter and a Sound Barrier here too. So see Taimou though, they're trying to get him into an advantageous position behind enemy lines. They're going to bring the payload forward, and that's going to force members of Sweden to come back. Beautiful Earth Shatter there. As soon as the enemy Graviton Surge comes in there from LiNkzr, just stops the Graviton Surge from getting much of anything. But the cleanup coming in here from Finland. I believe that was a huge Earth Shatter there from LiNkzr. If he doesn't land that, I think Sweden starts to win that fight.
Absolutely. There's also Hymzi with the great cleanup there on Tviq, where that's one of the things about Roadhog is that even though Reaper is a counter to Roadhog and that he can chew him up, if Roadhog gets a hookup, he can still deal with the Reaper as well. There's a little bit of back and forth there, and you got to think that going forward, Hymzi will be targeting Tviq a little bit more than others, as right now he's looking for it again, finds Tviq and takes him out.
Tviq is not able to get anything going against Hymzi's Roadhog. We talked a little bit about it during our pause. We would see Hymzi bring it out. Definitely has brought out the great effect here at the beginning of Route 66. And this has been one of the most difficult portions of the map to see teams push past ZP. For Sweden, though, on the defensive end, they're on their back foot. It's been a fantastic attempt on offense here from Finland. What can Sweden do to throw things in their favor?
For Sweden, they just need to stabilize a little bit. They go in with the Graviton here from the offense. Finland trying to get anything from here. LiNkzr, though, going to go down. It's 2 kills here from Sweden, and they are going to restabilize just a bit, and they still will be able to maintain their Nano Boost and Earth Shatters, iddqd, just chasing the cleanup. But to your question is what they have to change up here. I think really they only need one more major fight, so hold on to your ultimates and try and just get a little bit of a better engagement on Finland, catch them off guard.
I think here's the difficult part for Finland. With only a minute to go, you have no ultimates up. Sweden, they have the Death Blossom, Nano Boost, Earth Shatter, and the Deadeye. So a lot for Sweden to work with, and look at the position Tviq's in. He's going to get the Nano Boost, Death Blossom over the top. Perfect Sound Barrier coming in from the side of Finland, but it does not keep them alive. Tviq runs right through them. As Sweden looking to close out this map.
Sweden now very close. They're about one more big team fight away from taking this, maybe 2 because of how far out the payload is. But the goal here for Finland would be very difficult to achieve. And here's a replay of Tviq just helicoptering to the back.
Yeah, the Sound Barrier comes in, but it might be just a little bit too late as Tviq comes over the top with that Death Blossom Nano Boost combo. And then his teammates get aggressive towards the front. 23 seconds left here for Finland to get this payload all the way in the distance, and the Graviton Surge comes in from the side of Sweden. They get nothing for it, so they're trained to vault. It's going to be a pick there from Taimou on iddqd at the beginning, and LiNkzr does have that Earth Shatter. If he lands a big one here, Finland may be able to finish this out.
And this is the final approach here for Finland. They cannot get wiped out, but Hymzi and Taimou putting on a clinic. Hits Hymzi with another hook, taking down Tviq. And here comes Finland. They're in overtime, but they still have a chance of taking this out. Chips versus Taimou, and oh my goodness, Chips making it a trade. Some great auto-play from Chips in a rough situation.
Yeah, Hymzi using that whole hog, just trying to knock the players back of Sweden. He's going to be taken out there by Tviq, and you see people need to get closer towards the payload there for Finland. It's going to be a Death Blossom over the top for Tviq. It's going to be mafu coming in, picking up 2, but they do not get back towards the payload. Sweden holds on defense. Absolutely. And how heroic was Chips there towards the end, where he knew he was dead the rights of Taimou. He wasn't going to be able to get away. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go down fighting. Dove on Taimou and took him out as he fell himself. That was awesome. And you can almost see that happening there towards the end. You know, it goes in overtime. When you go in that third-person POV, you can get a great view of the players of Finland just spreading out a little bit too far, and they get so far away from the payload that the overtime clock just ticks down. Taimou, though, the fantastic first half, 15 and 4, over 10k damage, 57% accuracy on McCree. He has been a pleasure to watch throughout the entire tournament. Taimou is a beast, but if he does have a weakness, it's that he does overextend a little bit. Even looking at what happened with him versus Chips there, he didn't need to be that aggressive in pushing things out. Yes, it would have been great if he got Chips there, but he also could have stayed back with his team, gone for a little bit more security, and it's sort of the Achilles heel of Taimou, where sometimes he gets a little bit overeager, has too much confidence in himself, and it doesn't always work. Yeah, remember to vote for that T-Mobile MVP, hashtag T-Mobile MVP. Right now, you're looking at probably somebody on Sweden if they're able to advance the payload past where Finland pushed it. It'll be Hymzi on Roadhog. On defense, Taimou will be running McCree. Nothing too different there. I wonder what Sweden does on the offensive end here, ZP. I wonder if Tviq goes with something like Genji or if he stays on Reaper. He might stand Reaper, but I do think going to Genji would be a good idea. I think part of the reason why it would be opening Reaper here, where we usually see Tviq running more Genji on something like Bridge 66, is that he does know Hymzi is there on the Roadhog, and having a Reaper that deal with that Roadhog, where you know his hook is down, you can just dive on him, take him out, that's really good to have, but even still, I don't know if Tviq is going to stay on the Reaper the entire game. Well, 10 seconds left for Sweden to start forming their attack right now. iddqd on Bastion, don't know if we'll see him change it up. He's going to go with McCree. Did not think we were going to see the offensive Bastion in a match this important. It'll be Sweden on offense. We'll see if Zebbosai can get anything going on Roadhog, if he can get an early first hook. Absolutely, and early hooks, very, very important. Zebo, a player that's very comfortable in flexing a whole bunch of different roles, not a stranger to the Roadhog, but he's going up against one of the better Roadhogs in the game. And let me tell you, Roadhogs not opposed to hooking each other. And you get a view of the Finland defense there on top of Big Earl. See a hook come out from Hymzi, and he takes Tviq out of the action right away. It's a huge first pick there from Finland. Absolutely, and Hymzi just continuing on where Tviq is his priority #1. He wants to take him out, and it goes doubly so when he's on Reaper, because if he doesn't hook a Reaper, the Reaper's gonna dive in on him instead. Yeah, it's a big first kill right there. Once Tviq dies, Sweden can't really get anything going. You do see the payload being pushed forward. Here comes iddqd on the attack. Not for long, though. Hymzi pulls him out of the action. Another good hook there from Hymzi. The long arm of Hymzi strikes again, finds Chips. This man right now is a monster. Actually picks up a third, just crunching Zave with that primary fire right to the face. Oh my goodness, Hymzi having himself a game. He cannot be stopped on Roadhog, man. Those hooks have just been so accurate, just tearing through Sweden. Now you wonder if he would have ran Roadhog in that first map, if things would have went slightly different. Now we'll see if he can keep the hot play going as he's up top. Up Big Girls, has all Hog to work with. Zappis does have the nano boost. Mafu getting very close to a Graviton Surge. So things starting to go very well for Finland. Absolutely, and Finland right now, they're pretty stabilized. They have a Graviton Surge here in just a moment. And that Graviton's coming in, pulls and one stuck against the wall as Taimou gets the Deadeye cleanup. 3 kills for Timo, and gotta look for a little bit more. Oh, fantastic play there from Finland. They set up the Graviton Surge up top. They bring a lot of action from the left-hand side. That's where you see Sweden just turn, force only action there. Taimou sets up with a Deadeye right to the right, takes out 3 players, then finishes off Zave there at the end. Now Sweden on offense, they'll have the Earth Shatter and they'll have a nano boost, and you will actually see the whole hog and Deadeye. So now you see Sweden with the ult advantage here. They need to win this next fight. Absolutely, Sweden now 1 minute 45 left. If they throw ults here and get nothing, it would be a disaster. Finland would be on the verge of this first point hold. And you take a look at Hymzi holding on to that whole hog, can't hold him out, but he's gonna get hooked and turn. A taste of his own medicine, but the Earth Shatter from LiNkzr coming in, knocks down 2. Finland struggling to stay in here. Yeah, but it's gonna be Sweden using that sound barrier, able to stay alive. A nice hook there from Zebbosai, just trying to finish off Mafu. They deal with him. Sweden gets control. The payload just sitting left for Finland, so Sweden will get that first point. Sweden recovering there, and that was big for them. They did have a lot of ults on the line. If they had used them and didn't get that, would not have ended very well. Finland gonna have to settle for reestablishing on a second, but take a look at the time. You don't get a whole lot of time for capturing points here, X, so
2.5 minutes for Sweden. They really need to just win this next fight and keep momentum going forward if they want to beat this.
Ooh, and Zappis takes out Chips there at the beginning, and that's going to stall Sweden's push for a little bit until we see Chips get back into the action. And Tviq, you actually see him switch over and run Zarya, so it's been so fun to watch him play. I mean, we've seen him run anything from Genji to Hanzo, now Zarya. Just a fantastic overall player, and you're going to see a hook there from the side of Sweden that starts this fight. The Graviton Surge comes in a little bit late for Finland. They're not able to get anything out of it. I feel like this is a mistake, an open opportunity for Sweden to take advantage.
Sweden is with an open opportunity right now. Tviq moving in, looking for that Zarya damage. And Finland, they're getting pushed back, but Taimou, he's on the flank. They'll take down Chips, and Taimou's going to be a problem here if they don't deal with them, as Hymzi takes down Zevo, and Finland now starting to get scrappy, starting to get the kills they need, even as iddqd wins that one-on-one.
Yeah, but you're going to see Tviq take out Hymzi, and he's going to get zappis as well, and that's going to force Mafu to fall back. Does not have teammate support here, and it's actually going to be Mafu trying to fight this there. Oh, he takes out Tviq. LiNkzr there to fight it as well, and you see the tanks for the side of Finland just trying to hold on. For a second, I thought they were going to fall back, ZP. You see Cocco take both of them out. Now I feel like Finland's going to be staggered a little bit.
Finland's going to be staggered, and now take a look at Sweden here. I don't think they're going to make the mistake Finland made, where Finland wasn't overly aggressive at defending second. You have Zebbosai going right up. He's guarding one of the doorways. iddqd also peppering in shots. So this is a case where Finland's going to find it very tough to even jump out here. But they do have the Graviton.
Yeah, Sweden does have the Graviton Surge also to hold them up top. You're going to see the Graviton come in there for the side of Finland as they go fast on the defensive attack. You see Hymzi needs to get over to iddqd, not able to land that hook. He's going to use his Deadeye and get one. Zave picks up another, so Sweden gets the first 2 kills in this team fight, and now they're looking to take it to Finland.
Sweden right now, 35 seconds remaining. It is looking more likely that they'll be able to get through here. Taimou trying to be a hero, not happening. Just gets thrown off the top of that building by Tviq. And now Sweden with about 2 minutes left with a great opportunity to win this game and take that bronze medal.
Yeah, you see the goal there on Tviq's screen. That is where Sweden needs to get the payload to take this second map and this series. I wonder if they're going to need to change up their comp a little bit here towards the end, ZP. It's been working up until this point. Only 1 minute and 39 seconds to go, though. I feel like they might need a little bit more aggression.
I think that you might be right here, but I think Finland's going to keep riding this horse here. They have their players on their most comfortable heroes, and here they go. Nana boosts is in. LiNkzr trying to go in. Going to get counter and set. Charged right back. But still Mafu taking down Cocco. And on a rampage right now, gets 2, sets up Taimou, and Finland going to hold on for at least one more push.
Tviq getting fully charged and a Graviton Surge, trying to stay alive. He eventually falls, so he's going to get reset with the rest of his team. They do have a Graviton Surge. They do have a Nano Boost. You're going to see Zebbosai switch over to Reaper, so you would have thought maybe that would have been Tviq, but as soon as he gets the Graviton, they need that going into the next fight.
All right, so 1 minute left here. What will it be? Will Finland hold on for one more map, or will Sweden take 3rd place? We're going to find out here in just a moment. And here we go, Nano Boost is in iddqd, though. Gonna get sent to the ground. Great Earth Shatter coming in by LiNkzr to interrupt that combo, but it's still back and forth.
But Tviq keeps iddqd alive with a big Zarya barrier there. You're going to see Sweden still have that Graviton Surge. Taimou picks up 1. You need to see Sweden deal with him. Here comes the Graviton, and look at all the players stuck inside. Zebbosai can't get anything there. Finland holding on.
Finland is holding on. It is so back and forth between both teams. It is a Zarya that's right now. Tviq and Mafu both charged up. Still fighting Mafu. 47 HP, still somehow alive. Will get the Zarya regen in. Sweden, though, still a force here in the payload. Respawn's coming in for both teams. As both just fighting it. Taimou taking down Zave, though. Trying to start things off on a good note for Finland.
Yeah, Tviq, though, up top, fully charged, laying down a lot of damage there. Oh, he's going to get hooked. He's barely staying alive. The sound barrier comes in for Finland. They all get knocked down, though. Cocco with a big Earth Shatter. He's dealt with quick. iddqd needs to get back towards the payload. He falls. Zave trying to make his way back. He gets knocked down there by LiNkzr. And Finland going to be able to hold on and force a 3rd map.
Oh man, we knew this was going to be a good series going in, and going to 3 maps X, I would not have it any other way. We are going to be settling this on the ball.
It's a big hole there on defense from Finland. We talk about LiNkzr, you know, obviously new to Reinhardt, playing it here at this exhibition right there.